Good evening, Internet. Ultimate Weenie here. I've decided to do a little bit of a story time. I wanted to tell you a little story about Weenie's first time getting high on that Mary Jane, getting high on that ganja, that marijuana, if you will. Now, I haven't smoked in a little minute now, but I got to reminiscing. I'm trying to do that whole clean life type of thing right now, and I'm feeling a little nostalgic, and I thought I would tell you the story of the first time that I smoked that keef, that reefer. It was me and a buddy. We were in high school at the time. Fuck. We were in high school at the time, and so this buddy, I'm gonna call him Tibbles, and you're gonna ask me, "Hey, Weenie, why are you naming this guy Tibbles? That's an uncommon name." It's not what I actually called him, but that was the name that he used in World of Warcraft and Adventure Quest worlds. So that's what I'm going to be referring to him as to protect his anonymity. But so me and Tibbles, we were childhood best friends. We would get together on the weekends, play a little Halo, a little Borderlands, a little Diablo. It was that type of friendship. Our parents knew each other when we were young. Apparently, we took a bath together when we were little babies and stuff. He doesn't like to talk about that, but I'll willingly admit that. It's not weird, It's chill. It's fine. Cause later in life we developed a pretty good friendship, and one of the aspects of that friendship was the video game weekends. I would go over to his house and we would just fucking game the whole time, just nonstop. I'm talking like 15, 16 hour sessions and just go back to back to back. And one weekend, Tibbles came to me and said, "Hey man, look, let's do a little camping trip." And Tibbles, in the front of his house, he had an abandoned bus. And I don't know if anyone else had the privilege of having an abandoned bus when they were, up and coming young sports. But here's the thing with an abandoned bus is it makes a fantastic little camp. We had small little, a small little like bed frame there, with a little mattress on it, and we would just go out there sometimes and just shoot the shit while fucking around with nature and just boys being boys back then. And this particular time, Tibble said, "Hey, look, I know that you may have never done this, but I've got some weed." And I'm thinking to myself like I had never done that. I was actually like strictly against drugs at the time. I'm like, weed smokers, well, that's for losers, that's for phonies, that's for little bitches. But I don't know why my mentality was like that. It probably because like I'd seen my mom do it and I'd seen family members do it. I'm like, oh man, this stuff's stupid. This makes you stupid. And I just had like a little bit of a bias against it. But that night, my closest friend in the world, this beautiful baby boy that I took a bath with, um, he came up to me and he said, "Hey, I got this. No pressure. If you don't want to smoke it, you ain't got to smoke it, man. I understand. It's cool. I ain't going to judge you." And that just kind of made me want to do it more. I'm like, oh man, he's not even peer pressuring me. I'm like, usually in the stories, like I get fucking peer pressured, Like in health class, it's like this shady ass dude that comes up to you. It's like, "Hey man, you want to try this joint? Cool. You like that joint? Here's some fentanyl." And that was like the extent of education on drugs in the South. And for two boys in the South with nothing to do on a weekend, and a little bit of weed, it didn't seem too bad at the time. Especially since he wasn't peer pressuring me, like that just made me want it that much more. I don't know, maybe it was like reverse psychology or something like that. But so I'm like, "Tibbles, I'm gonna tell you this as a friend, as a homie, as an ally, as an amigo. I'll smoke that weed with you. I'll do it tonight. I mean, couldn't hurt, right? What's the worst thing that could happen? Next weekend we're doing fentanyl. So we go to the bus, and the bus, like the layout of the bus, is just your standard bus, except all the seats, every single seat was ripped out, just completely empty bus except for this twin size mattress. And all you Midwestern jabronis, you can go ahead and sing that song. If you want to pause the video, you can sing twin size mattress. It's fine. But we go to the bus. We have nothing. This was back in the day when like cell phones were around, but like it wasn't like cool or anything. So we weren't hanging out on our cell phones or anything like that. It was just two dudes in an abandoned bus with a single bed and a pack of Fritos, baby. This pack of Fritos, it comes into play a little bit later. This pack of Fritos was a tiny, like maybe one of the dollar bags, $2 bags. It was a tiny pack of Fritos, but it was what we had. And we sit down, and it's getting nighttime. It's getting cool. We got blankets and stuff. We got our jackets and everything, so it's not the weather isn't too bad. I can hear the outside bustling sounds of like bugs and spirits and like goblins, whatever. I don't know, but whatever hangs out in the southern woods, that type of thing. And we sit down. And I'm thinking to myself, so shit, I've never done this before. How's it going to go down? Tibbles knew how it was going to go down. See, Tibbles had a little bit of experience prior to this. And what Tibbles had, he had a pipe. And he brought out this pipe. And the pipe itself was a tiny little lipstick. Like it looked like a lipstick. Lipstick. And in the lipstick, the little bottom half popped off, and it revealed a bowl on the inside. It was probably like a one hitter, maybe a two hitter, and the lipstick part, of course, that's the part you would suck on and get the smoke into your lungs and get high from. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, that's just a little old pipe. What's that thing gonna do to me? That ain't gonna do nothing to me. So I kind of felt a little emboldened, a little tough to toot, if you will. And so Tibbles, he gets out the weed, and we don't have grinders. We're just fucking kids, probably 15, 14. I can't really remember the age. Maybe 16 or 17 or 18 or 19. Maybe 21. Maybe this didn't happen at all. Government, if you're watching, I don't know the statute of limitations on that. But so he gets it out, and he shows me what to do, and he brings it to his lips, and he's, holds it in, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I've seen the adults do this shit. I know what to do. Go ahead, hand it here. And so he passes me the little lipstick, and I remember taking the lipstick up to my lips, feeling like a lady, and put it to my lips and bring out the lighter, and I hold it to it, and I can't like get it to go. I can't get it up. I can't get it to pull, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, haha, man. Oh wow, I'm getting kind of buzzed, and he's like, brother, you're not even hitting it. You gotta hold the carburetor. And I'm like, the fucking carburetor? What do I look like, a mechanic? And he's like, no, the little thing on the side. All right. And so he like holds it for me, and he presses his finger over the little hole, and he holds it over it, and I put it up to my lips, and then the fire touches it from the lighter, the flickering, and I pull in. Immediately, I felt my lungs on fire. I'm like, holy shit, this was fentanyl. And so I hit it one time. And I'm like, this is virgin lungs hitting pure THC smoke, And so I'm like blasted. I'm like fucking Jimmy Neutron with a Jimmy Neutron brain blast. Gotta go. and it's awakened something in me, and I'm feeling a little emboldened now. So I'll pass it back to him. I'm feeling good. I'm letting it seep in. I'm not trying to get too gung ho and just hitting it back to back. Straight to the face, straight to the lungs, straight to the mind, straight to the spirit. So I let him take his hit, and he takes it. He's doing fine. Obviously, he's had practice, and then he passes it back to me, and it's I already knew the routine at this point. I'm like, no, I don't need you to hold my carburetor. I got it myself. So I take the lipstick, put my finger over the carburetor, bring it up, bring the lighter up, and I'm hitting it, and I'm hitting it. I'm taking a bigger hit this time. I'm brave. Immediately, it's too much. It's too fucking much. I remember coughing my fucking lungs out. I just, at the time, it felt like there was no stopping point to the coughing. Like I legitimately felt, I'm like, this is going to be the rest of my life now. For context, 3 weeks earlier, I read this article of this girl that just started hiccuping and never stopped. Like, she just fucking was hiccuping constantly. And I don't know if they ever found a cure for that girl. Maybe I need to look that up. But in my mind, that popped up. I'm like, oh shit, if she could hiccup forever, that's going to be me. I'm going to be coughing forever. I'm never going to have a normal life. I'm going, like, my fucking wedding day, I'm going to birth of my first kid, I'm going to hell, I'm not even going to be able to pick up chicks because I'm just going to be like, hey, baby, how you walking around like fucking Albert. And I was just fucking, at that point, I'm like, damn, when will it stop? And I can't recall the amount of time that it took. Probably 5 seconds. To me, it felt like 10 years. But it stopped. And I was feeling good. I was feeling great, even. All of a sudden, the crickets were like a fucking harmony going on outside. The bus itself, it was a cathedral, beautiful cathedral. That twin size mattress was just, oh man, that was heaven right there. And of course, the fabled munchies starts to hit me, not in my stomach. I don't know if you could tell where I was hitting, in my heart. Those Fritos, I remember that tiny little bag just being the best goddamn thing I'd ever seen in my fucking life. 'Cause I was hungry. I was so fucking hungry. They talk about munchies a lot with people that, partake in marijuana. But like the first time, that first munchies you ever get, there's no feeling like it. Because when I ate that first Frito out of that bag, I'm telling you, I spoke to God. I spoke to Zeus. I spoke to the entire Greek pantheon that night. I felt the wings of Olympus soaring across my back. I'm telling you, that was the best motherfucking Frito I'd ever had in my life. It was the twisty kind. It wasn't the normal chili cheese, I don't think. It was the either it was I think it was the little honey barbecue. But god damn. I've always longed to taste that taste again, to feel that sensation once more. I've never came close to it, by the way. Like, nothing's ever came close to that. I do have some other stories, but me and Tibbles right there, we looked at each other and we were sharing this bag of Fritos. And I remember everything was just so funny. I can't even remember the exact details of what we talked about. All I know is we were there for hours. Hours just rolling around and laughing and having a good time. And we fell asleep. I woke up if you're wondering, like, hey, I wonder if they slept in the same twin size bed. I wonder if anything spicy happened. I'm ready for some Weenie fanfic, baby. It didn't. It didn't. I woke up like halfway across the bus, and Tibbles, of course, slept in the twin size mattress. That was his right as abandoned bus owner. But overall, like at that point, I no longer demonized marijuana or weed or anything like that. It was just something I did with my friend Tibbles, and then continued to do for a little bit. I've stopped these days, but sometimes I miss it. I miss the old Fritos, the old bus. Hell, maybe I miss being a kid. Who knows? You know, life out there is getting kind of crazy, but you know, don't feel too bad about it. We're all just trying to do the best we can, and you know, it's just one of those things we got to deal with. So I'll be doing some more stories like this and everything. I don't want to be too long-winded. I just had like a video the other day, and it there was a background song and it got taken down. I'm like, damn, what can I do? I'll just tell a story, whatever. Not the video I plan to make, but I kind of want to just start sharing some of my stories here. So thanks anyone who wanted to listen. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a good night.